In my neighborhood, art is number one. I am so proud of this community when it comes to the arts of all kind. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's music or painting or crafting or theater, we are one of the best. And one of the best in it is Keith McGill joining me today. How are you?
I'm great. It's so good to see you.
Okay, so here's where the shame comes in. I've known him forever and a day, but I've not seen you much. 2 years, okay.
Yeah.
That's like COVID is crazy.
Yeah, like last time I was here, like I was in a room and you were in another room. And now look how close we are. So exciting.
Yeah, we're sitting next to each other, so it is good. You're at Commonwealth Theater Center. You are directing No Turning Back. What's the play? What is it about?
So No Turning Back, I also wrote it and directed it.
You wrote it?
I'm busy.
I'm so proud of him.
I'm busy.
You are.
And No Turning Back is a follow-up. We had done for years a one-person play called Nation in Crisis, and it was basically about I would go to schools and I would be the guy on the bus with Rosa Parks when she gets arrested, or I would be Martin Luther King, or I would be one of the people at the Greensboro sit-in just so we could teach some black history. And those were the big ones that kids knew.
Yeah.
And last year, we had to go virtual. Everybody went virtual.
Yeah.
And so we pulled out Nation in Crisis again and went virtual with it. Ended up doing a couple of public performances so that everybody could come see it. And people were like, this is great. When are you going to do another one? When are you going to do another one?
Yeah.
And we had done a few years back and stopped doing it for whatever reason, No Turning Back, which is 2 people instead of 1. So we get women's perspective also, because I'm like, I'm not going to try to be a woman. That's just, nobody will believe me. No one
Right.
will believe me.
Well, you're a good actor. You're a good actor.
I'm not good. I'm not good. So we have the wonderful Shaquille Towns and Jackie Blue, 2 incredibly talented people who are portraying various people from Kentucky black history. So they are fair slaves who run away. They are Charlotte and Andrew Wade, who bought a house in a white neighborhood helped by one of our local heroes, Ann Braden, and her husband Carl.
And that story is huge.
Yeah, it's a major league.
And they blew it up.
Yeah, they did. They bombed the thing, and they even rebuilt it. And the wife said, "We can't go back there." So then we went somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we talk about the flood. We talk about Jimmy Wingfield, famous black jockey.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of stories that are Kentucky-based, because people say, "What about what we've done?" You know, we talk about suffrage, and it was amazing how much I found out about how much black women were part of the suffrage movement in Kentucky in the 20s.
And again, with this celebrating Black History Month, certainly, but as we said yesterday, it's not just a month, you know, it's a year-long thing. But to learn this history, and I know that the kids will get to see it because you're still making sure that, but I think everyone kind of needs to see it. And I also believe that when you do it in the form of art, sometimes people are not so defensive, and I wish we just weren't defensive. I like to learn about everything and everyone. I think it makes us all better. But when you do it in the form of art, do you find that it touches more people and more people let their walls down?
Yes. What's great about it, and I was just talking to, we did it for a group of students from Home of the Innocents. They came in and we did special performances for them. And one of the things we talk about is that if I say read this history, you know, most people are gonna be like, ugh, really?
Yeah, like,
but if I say watch this show or watch this movie or watch this play, people are being entertained and learning at the same time. And we've seen so much of that lately, especially since we've all been home binging shows. So we've learned a lot of history that we wouldn't have known had we not decided to watch Regina King, the queen of the Black History now, doing all of these shows.
Yeah. When you do this and you sit down to write, because that's fascinating. I mean, I write stories all day long. I love to write. I don't even understand what that process looks like to write a play. What does it take from you? How do you start that?
The first thing is you start with what stories do you already know? So with Nation in Crisis, it started with, I know the Rosa Parks story. I know the, Martin Luther King's March on Washington and Selma. And, you know all these stories, or at least we think we do. And then you go and do research. So I'll find out that, oh, wait a minute, that Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, but he didn't really want to. And so you go, oh, well, what's that about? Because we hear all the stories as children.
You don't know, you don't hear it. everybody is, grateful that he signed that.
Yes, of course.
But it was not so much as if it were the right thing to do.
Right. He literally was trying to save the country.
Yes.
He said,
yes.
look, okay, whatever I need to do to save the country.
Right.
So it's interesting to go in there, and then we can look at things and think critically about what people did. The thing I love about history that I didn't get in school was, if you're in a situation, what would you do as a person?
Right.
How would you feel as a person? What would you want to happen as a person, rather than, on this day, this thing happened? Because nobody can get that. But it's like, on this day, we decided we were going to run away in the middle of the day, and not on the Underground Railroad. We stole some clothes and we ran, and it's like, what? Tell me some more. And then already you're leaning in. Already you want to know more.
Right. It's amazing, this story, Beloved, and I know you know this, that Oprah Winfrey, was part of, and all of that, was based on a slave
in Kentucky. It was based on Margaret Garner.
Yeah. But what's so crazy is you can't find out a lot about her. I am so dying to know, because if you don't know, she ran and they caught her again, but she had her children with her, and she got one of her children because she did not want them to go back
to slavery.
Right. And so she was trying to get them all, only got one. Right. And then when they did take her back, what happened? She was a slave all over again.
Yeah,
and
she went back.
But you have all the on here, content warning. Do you have to give a content warning?
Only because of the audience, not because of the content.
Right. Okay, so, and I should have cleared that a little better. You have a content warning to say that there are history themes that include the description of segregation, also violence, also slavery, and those things. Is that because it does touch your whole soul and can make you really sad? Or is that because we're all arguing right now over what we should be learning?
That's the thing, and it's so very interesting that this No Turning Back and the year before, Nation in Crisis, is making a resurgence at Commonwealth right in the middle of people arguing over whether or not we should even have this knowledge. So the content warning, to be clear, is not, we're going to talk about black people. Don't listen to black people. The content warning is more, younger kids might be, a little upset. We recommend the show for children 8 years and up. We not only do this as public performances like we will do next weekend, but we also do them as outreach in schools, and we usually start with 3rd grade depending on the content.
Yeah, you want them to be able to ingest it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And not be stuck on the fact that, for example, Margaret Garner took her child's life. Oh my God, oh no. But to understand the whole context, she did that because slavery was so horrible.
It was so horrible.
She couldn't want that for her children.
I wish we could just listen and learn from each other without it always having to be a fight. No Turning Back. It is at Commonwealth Theater. You can see it there Saturday, 7 p.m. via Zoom, on YouTube, Sunday, 2 p.m. Payne Street. Anything else you want folks to know?
What's really great about both these performances, the virtual one on Saturday and the live one on Sundays, we have a talkback.
So you're able to discuss it.
Right, Erica Denise from Actors Theater.
Yes.
Shout out to Actors, love those people. And so we'll do the show, and then we'll have questions and answers and discussion after both performances, so we can get the community involved in the discussion of Black history and all that.
All right, it's commonwealththeater.org. You see the information there on your screen, No Turning Back. Keep us up to date to what you're doing. Every time I hear what you're doing, I'm always, that's so exciting, and I'm so proud of you.
It's so good to see you, Dawn.
Good to see you, too. And again, please check that out. It's learning for all of us, not just the kids.